one of the things I like to do on the channel is to do deep dives, and I'm trying to expand on that. And one of the things, because I live in the Potteries, one of the great things is we have things like this. Museums dedicated to very famous brands of pottery. And this time, hello, I'm going to do Wedgwood. But before I do, me and Mum are at the Wedgwood Museum. That's the Victoria and Albert Museum, and we're gonna have a look around. We're gonna have a. That is Luna. That is the Michelin starred chef who set that up. But yeah, we're gonna go for afternoon tea. There we go. He was 65 when he passed.
Yeah. Yes.
That's nice. Oh, this is your kind of thing, isn't it?
Oh, this is definitely my kind of thing.
You like this kind of stuff?
Gorgeous. Beautiful, isn't it?
So we're in the shop. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm wearing my Wedgwood blue jacket, especially. Have you ever heard of the phrase bull in a china shop? Well, this is a fatty in a glass factory. 170 quid for a glass. One glass. Just get it off carboot. The thing is about the pottery is because they've been dwindled down, they're a shadow of what it was because of just the Industrial Revolution. Everything's been moved to like China and stuff like that, and so other countries for cheaper labour. But like this, it's gorgeous. But there's like usually like big parent companies, like the Port Merion Group own, I think it's Spode. I'll try and do a breakdown of some of the pottery family. That's so good. How unusual. Right. What are we having?
So we're having afternoon tea.
You're having the tea, I'm having the Prosecco.
You're having the Prosecco, yeah.
Look at that. Gorgeous blue. You enjoying it?
I've eaten these in 2 minutes.
We were like, it'll be enough. So we're on level 2 now. The scans. Da 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 da. Mum's a very hard audience.
Because
We'll have half each.
this plain
Yeah.
and this. So if I cut both of them into.
We are very different. Like I'm cream and jam first, and you're jam and cream first.
Yeah.
We can argue about who's right later. Yeah.
An absolute sight. It's beautiful.
Well, there's the set, so.
Yeah. You've got your cake plates and your cups and. Some It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it's not a filter, it's the actual lighting. Yeah, this is the freebie Victoria and Albert Museum, but it's only half open because they're doing work to it. But we're going to go through and have a beach. See, if you live around Staffordshire or Stoke-on-Trent, you always see the old kilns, the ones that haven't been destroyed.
Yeah.
And you watch the Great Pottery Throwdown, it actually features. Huge.
Victoria Works. That's why they call certain areas Litre.
Just saying, this factory is huge, but the museum is massive. It's a V&A museum, so it's free to go in. But we're saying for one company, the history of it is like 300 years old, and he created the processes to make certain things, like to create the right colours, to create the right styles, the Etruscan vases and everything. It's incredible.
And then it's carried on developing over the years.
Until we're here today. See, that's the black and white one.
Yeah.
Interesting though, isn't it?
Brooches and dress buckles, wearing bracelets, earrings, necklaces, ring and lockets inset with Wedgwood candles on them.
Look, literally in everything, look at all those buttons. Incredible. Buttons, brooches, snuff boxes, rings. He was everywhere. Extravagant fashion, which is kind of nothing out of the ordinary today. Was Wedgwood the Vivian Westwood
Yes.
of his day?
Yeah.
Because you've got buttons, you've got snuff boxes, he was in everything.
He was. Not just the
He was a
Pottery.
genius. He said people will buy abundantly. In
He found a
abundance.
market.
He knew capitalism, didn't he? He just kind of saw it and thought that's the future.
But he
Chain bottles.
well, it flattenizes.
Well, they'd keep them in the purse, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, isn't it?
Just imagine Jane Austen eating off one of them. Stoke-on-Trent to the world. And the Wedgwood family, Josiah Wedgwood, he made these medallions to give out at rallies, and so people would know, if you're an abolitionist and stuff, and as a reminder.
It says here, Wedgwood's
Incredible.
children carried on the campaign after his death in 1795. They witnessed the illegalisation of the trade in enslaved people in 1807, a bill which the UK Parliament had voted against 11 times. How bad's that? In 1834, slavery was emancipated persons receiving nothing, whereas slave owners were compensated for their loss of income. God.
39 years after his death.
Yep. It was not until 2015 the British government paid off the debts to enslaver families worth 17 billion in today's money. My gosh. That is... It makes you ashamed that that's part of our history. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it isn't.
We've got to take ownership of that, and
Exactly.
it's the same as the German people of today having to take ownership of the Nazi regime and what they did in the Second World War. It's exactly the same.
And these are the next owners, is it? Must be. Look at that, that's unusual. Dessert service, like for gravy.
Wow.
I like that. Can we get one? Do they have that in a gift shop? Alright. Oh, Viscount Nelson, ratio Nelson's column.
I wonder if you'll do a King Charles, the third one.
I don't know, we've got one for Mary Antoinette. Let them eat cake, we've already have. How much cake? A lot. And there he is. Oh, unknown male. Oh, that's a bit sad, isn't it?
It is.
Well, he looks like a bit like a toff, although he must have had a good life if he can afford his own seal. Isaac Newton. Yeah, you see. There's two now. Okay, so I'm back. It's been a couple of days since I went to the Wedgwood Museum. And this video, I've been trying to make this video for a long time. And I wanted to go to the Wedgwood Museum specifically because it's one of the biggest brands that we can look at when it comes to adaptability throughout the market and throughout the years, meaning that they started with a Jasperware style, and they've not really changed it. They've done different scenes, obviously, and they've branched out into all different things, but they've kind of stayed the same, and it's instantly recognizable. Everybody knows that it's like, oh, that's that Wedgwood, that's what, and it is global. Yeah, the history of Wedgwood, it was its own company, then it kind of bought up little factories going along, and then it got bought up itself as it has been whittled down thanks to cheaper labour abroad, specifically China. So yeah, it's a shadow of what it was. Like, it's still got a giant factory that you can walk around and see them all painting and doing all different types of moulds and stuff. But you're talking going from what, like tens of thousands of workers to maybe a couple hundred. That's how much it's changed. And yeah, they still demand luxury prices for a lot of the stuff. You, from the initial outlet, you saw in one of the clips, there was something like a full set of Phoenix plate for like £120 for like a small plate, a teapot for like £350. That was like the more modern styles. The Jasperware I've seen when I went to Harrods, I saw they had a full range of like Wedgwood stuff. So they've got links to luxury department stores. They sell a lot in America, a lot of American buyers, and there's a lot of American collectors. I wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive into some of the styles and some of the specific items and maybe types of items that are selling well for Wedgwood, because it's not all just Jasperware. There are different styles throughout the years that have gone for good money. Okay, so I've basically put in the parameters: UK location, pre-owned, buy it nows, and the highest price first, just to whittle it down and just to get the highest price. Now, this is obviously, when you're talking about not just antiques but like pottery, there is a mass produced and there's also the exceptionally rare that goes for stupid money at auction. This is kind of what we're talking about when it comes to bolos in the Wedgwood kind of vein. Wedgwood Fairyland Litre is the big ticket item. I mean, you're talking thousands. Look at this. It's absolutely insane. And I think at auction you will be hitting that top end as well, depending on the auctions. But yeah, the Fairyland Litre ones, it's got that sheen and metallic kind of like gilded look to it, and it's just insane money. So if you are lucky enough to find anything like that, my god, pick it up. Hibiscus dinner set, sold together or separately. Right, okay, so this is, other than the fairy land, this is hibiscus is probably one of the most desirable. Right, Wedgwood hibiscus, location, UK. Buy it now. I've forgotten when this came out. I think it quite a recent one. I don't think it's like a rare, I don't think it's like an old one. Highest now. Right, so there we go. Dinner service separate. So like they've obviously bought it all together, £1,000 for it all. But you're talking like a dinner plate, 2 plates for £50. Small hibiscus pearled little terrine stand. A stand, £30. Yeah, so this is the newer one. You can see the newer one there. The hibiscus newer one there. I mean, a breakfast bowl was £37.50. And the more you can get, the better in terms of like sets and stuff, like a breakfast set, £160. So that's one of the first patterns that we've seen, a dining room set there for one. It's really pretty. It's not my kind of thing. It's kind of that old Delft. Delft is a good brand. If you put in Delft, I think it's Dutch. They have something like the blue flowery kind of stuff. It's very similar. A Clarice Cliff by Wedgwood. Yeah, so Wedgwood, when it comes to the Clarice Cliff stuff, it's not the original kind of 1920s Clarice Cliff. Wedgwood bought the rights to Clarice Cliff, the name and the styles and the brand, the IP, for, I think it was in the 90s, and they did lots of reproductions, and I think they lent it out to, was it Liberty as well? Liberty did a Clarice Cliff range made by Wedgwood, I think it was. So yeah, it still goes for good money, clearly. Look, £700 for a vase, I mean, what? But yeah, the Bazaar range definitely does well, and it is bizarre, and it's so iconic, like the styles and the colours. It's, yeah, definitely one to look out for. Rare Wedgwood Jasper ware, black honey pot and lid with dipper. 600. What? For a honey pot and dipper? I'm guessing it probably went for about 500. That must be exceptionally rare. Like the black Wedgwood, like, I don't know, I don't particularly like it, but for some reason it does go for money. Oh, look, a complete Wedgwood Ulander powder turquoise. There, so this little pattern here is so intricate, isn't it? Like how they've done it. It's actually quite a nice set, that, actually. It's a bit 90s. 90s used that kind of like turquoisey kind of like colour. But yeah, that, very interesting. A whole set, £500. Yeah, so Keith Murray did these really weird designs. I remember seeing his stuff a few years ago at auction, and yeah, look, this style where it's like almost like deep ribbed. That's a word, I don't know. But it's like deep ribbed, yeah, it's like a bomb vase, like what's it, but it's got like nice ribbed. But that's the majority of his stuff. But he worked for Wedgwood and he did lots of different designs. He worked for a couple of companies. He was more of an architect, wasn't he? Wasn't he trained as an architect? I'm gonna have to do a deep dive into him. He's a very interesting man. Oh, there he is, Keith Murray again. See, he's done that ribbed. You can kind of see it there. It's kind of like ribbed, and it's once you see his style, it sticks in your mind. It's really unique and it's quite uniform, even though he does lots of different colours and shapes and stuff, and lots of different types of stuff. He's a very interesting designer, quite modern. Of all the Jasperware that I particularly like, I love the dark blue. I think the dark blue looks nicer. The Wedgwood blue is iconic. It's like a grey blue, light blue. It's really nice. But in terms of like just use of, if I was to have any colour, it'd be that colour. And I don't like the green. I think the pink's nice, but it's very dated now. Yeah, so Wild Strawberry is definitely a favourite. It's just like I say, it's just like strawberry, but there's a lot of strawberry styled designs out there from different brands, and it looks like there's a lot that sells. It just doesn't sell for a lot of money, so the value isn't as good. But I suppose if you get like a full set, you can command good money. 6 small tea plates for nearly £100. That's pretty good. People would see it and think, oh, that's kind of generic, and then just bundle it up and say, oh, that's like £3, please. Like the shops that I go to, they do that. They put like them together and just kind of put them on a shelf. But yeah, they are. The dinner plates, £180 for 6. So I think sets are better when it comes to with low value stuff. Ooh, samurai dinner plates. Look at that, the detail in that. Okay, so this Wedgwood Samurai is like a geometric pattern. Very nice. Yeah, so even just a single item from the set can go for good money. You can I can see why people would definitely collect sets and build sets up. Yeah, look at that. Definitely soup bowls, £18 each. So Samurai one, pretty good. Look at the sell-through rate. People are collecting it. This is quite a sought after. If you look at all of the varieties of things that are selling, the Wedgwood Samurai China patterns is definitely up there. Look at that coffee pot. £100 for that coffee pot. And then you've got like the actual teapot, £30. I've always found it weird that coffee pots can actually be a bit more valuable. Sugar bowl, a lidded sugar bowl. Look at that, £45. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting one. I kind of like it. And it looks like it's easily collectible as well. Like some people will go after just the sets. Ooh, see, the sets are so kind of like sought after. There's Florentina. Usually, the good thing is about Wedgwood as well is like they've got a date on a lot of the stuff, a lot of the modern stuff as well. If you look close enough, you kind of make it out. But yeah. Anyway, I wanted to go into a bit of a deep dive, and yeah, you can kind of see some of the styles repeat themselves. So I'd say any pre-1950 Jasperware, I think you can sell good stuff from like more modern Jasperware, but it has to be a little bit different, a little bit unique. The black Jasperware, the big urns, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I definitely would say there's the Clarice Cliff ones, obviously. I'll pick up anything. If anything looks like Clarice Cliff, I would pick it up anyway. Yeah, in terms of patterns, definitely the turquoise Florentine. Wild Strawberry, just because it sells so much, it's very generic and it looks like it could be easy to find. The Wedgwood Samurai, that looks like the sell-through rate is very high on that. But I think one of the most popular brands that I've just seen is the Yolanda powder turquoise colour one. That pattern is very kind of like it. Like I said, it reminds me of the pattern and style of certain mass-produced brands of like the 90s, funnily enough. But it's got like a gold rim and everything, and yeah, it does look very, very pretty. For some reason, I always like associate things like that with like weddings, and just so like when it comes to like wedding venues or like events venues, particularly the higher end market, they will buy up so much of the same style just so they've got it on hand, just in case, you know, from 100 or even 200 guests. Anywho, yeah, I'm sorry it's been a bit of a long one, and yeah, a nice little deep dive at the end of like my Wedgwood adventure. But yeah, thank you everybody. What pottery would you like to see next? I've done a little bit on Emma Bridgewater. I'm going to put in the link somewhere here. I've done a little bit of Emma Bridgewater. If you like this deep dive, I've done an Emma Bridgewater one. The video will be on at the end. You can click on it and go and see. Or as you can tell, I'm a fan of Emma Bridgewater. Yes, so I will be trying to do more deep dives. I really wanted to get this one done. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.